Okay, we are back. I have finished every bit of work that I have to do up until Wednesday. We have this much of the book to finish in the next 3 days. I'm confident we can do it because this is what I'm going to be doing all day today, and all day tomorrow, and all day Wednesday. And I don't fly out to my next convention until Thursday afternoon. Oh, so we got time. Today we got time. So I've been playing around with a lot of felt tip pens. They're okay. At the end of the day, I think I still like the Pentel Pocket Brush. My problem with the Pentel Pocket Brush is it's really hard to reload the ink with the Pentel Pocket Brush. But yeah, we'll leave the chat on, I don't know, about a half an hour to an hour, and then we'll go ahead and shut the chat off, and then from there we'll just be drawing the rest of the time. Okay, so how close am I to finishing? Cutting it really close. Still got about this much left. I think I could do it. I'm pretty confident because I've only been dedicating like 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours a day. Today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, I have nothing else to do. I finished all my other work, so that's what we're going to be doing today. I think one of the things that really slowed me down with this was that I didn't take the book with me when I traveled to conventions because I wanted to record the whole thing so that I could make a time-lapse video of it. So there were like maybe a total of 10 days or something out of the month that I just wasn't using the sketchbook. Like I was drawing in my other sketchbook. If you took all the pages from my other sketchbooks and then put them in here, this would have been done already. But because I wanted to turn this into a video, I specifically made sure not to bring this book with me. So we're just gonna do some warm-up pieces right here. I'm gonna do maybe an hour of life drawing here, timed figure drawing rather, just to get us a little warmed up, and then we'll get into whatever it is that we're gonna draw today. Yeah, it's called a sketchbook. Wish I had a better way to do this. This is fucking annoying. Damn. I'm all tight right now, man. Anchored. The music? Nah, my head hurts. Like, just gonna take it easy today. No music. We're just gonna. You can. I'm giving you the option to play your own music. There you go. Man, I don't know why. I'm all rusty right now. Not loose. What's going on? Do I try to change in technique? Um, yeah, I mean, I tried a lot of things. I've changed my technique with various things many times. I've done life drawing a few different ways. I change pens. I'm always trying something new. Damn, what's going on, man? I'm all rough right now, all tight. Loosen up. Damn it, why's my measurements are all off? Motherfucker. I just need to warm up a bit. It's cool in the gang, that's what this is for. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I don't know if you're on my Instagram. I post more on my Instagram than I do on my YouTube channel. You can see a lot more of my sketches on Instagram than you can see here. Um, Everything on my YouTube channel is either just my vlogs or yeah, it's either just my vlogs or like my bigger pieces. But if you want to see what my my more loose sketchbook stuff. You can go to my Instagram page, you can check that out. Yeah, when I had gone to a I had gone to a workshop that Kim Jong-gi had in San Francisco a couple months ago, maybe about 6 months ago, and watching him draw live was like amazing. But doing the way he smudges his lines. Do you post your artwork anywhere? It's always cool to meet other artists, either through the live stream or when I'm at conventions and stuff. So if you, if you post your work anywhere, that'd be really cool to see it. Since we seem to have similar tastes in artists, it's like my favorite thing. Anytime I meet an artist, they're like, "Oh yeah, so I'm a huge fan of Kim Jong-gi." I'm like, "Oh, okay, we can be friends now. Where's your page?" Ah, okay. Well, damn. Oh, you've been slacking with art? Nah, don't do that. Why? What's going on? Why you slacking, bruh? So one, what do you? I mean, everyone thinks they suck at art. It's just like, whenever somebody says that, I'm like, okay, I don't, whatever, because everyone says they suck. So, just like, what do you like to draw? One, what do you like to draw? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling really stiff this morning. Like I'm not. I know I'm still kind of warming up, but normally I don't need this much time to warm up. But maybe I'm tired. Maybe I'm a little over this friggin' sketchbook. Maybe I'm a little that. Sketchbook slam jet. Ah, you got work. Okay. Okay, is it that you're slacking with art, or is it that you're just so drained from work? I think those are two independent things, you know what I mean? But no, okay, okay. I mean, you're not on like a deadline or anything, so... What was the last thing you drew? How long ago was that? Ah, damn it. You know what I'm not good with? Um, Representing a flexed forearm. So like, when I have my characters doing stuff, I'm good at having certain muscles contract, like like the major muscles, but like more minor ones like the forearm. Because like if you have it twisted this way, it's gonna flex a certain way. If you have it flexed that way, or you turn your hand that way, the forearm doesn't flex the right way, or it flexes a different way basically. So you know, little things like that I think I need to pay more attention to. Damn it. So I'm really hyped about something. And so I'm gonna pause this real quick. So a couple of years ago, all right. So in my hometown in Fresno, California, they have an it's a decent sized anime convention now, but at the time it was a really small event. It's run by my friend. He wanted me. This is back when I started. He wanted me to do an artist panel, right? Um, so it was just kind of me talking about me, and then they wanted me to talk about the business, and I was like, dude, I don't know anything about the art business because I really um anyway, I got one person to show up to my art panel the last time. So this upcoming March, I will be hosting another one, and I'm very curious to see how many people will show out to that one because for the most part, I'm pretty well known in my local community now. I have a pretty decent following, and the convention is a lot bigger than it was before. So there's a lot of things that could result. I kind of just want to see how many people show up. It's not a vanity thing. It's totally a vanity thing, but no, I don't know. I think it's just curious because it's been what 4 years since I did that first panel, so yeah, one person showed up. Actually, if you're able to get to that convention, my panel should be free. Like, I'm gonna record it. I'll have it on YouTube, so don't worry about it. I'll have it on YouTube, but it'll be really cool to get more speaking panels just to talk about selling at conventions and just life as a freelancer. That would be a really cool thing to start doing. Oh shoot. Yeah, it's the here after this pose. Oh, whoops. Well, I messed up on my proportions here because I was paying attention. But I'll write down the convention name in the chat. It's a pretty small convention. Overall, it's a pretty small convention, but it's gotten a lot bigger than it was before. It used to be at a shopping mall. Now they moved it to the fairgrounds. Yeah, I put my artwork has been up in a gallery. Again, it's a local gallery. I've had it up before. Um, yeah, I think I've done a little bit of everything at this point. I am gonna start branching out and trying to do more galleries in well, I was gonna say SoCal, Southern California, but I'll go north. I'll go anywhere outside of the Central Valley here in California. Um, I just want to do more live drawing. Like, I want to find festivals and do live drawing. Like, I'm tired. Like, conventions are cool. I'm a little tired of it though. Like, you just go there and you're at the mercy of people buying stuff. If you, I don't know. I just want to go somewhere and just draw live. Not I've thought about panhandling, but I don't know about all that. But you know, if I can find some kind of like the Cherry Blossom Festival in San Francisco, I'm looking into getting a spot there, but I think it's filled up already. I know they used to have a little artist alley in the Japantown Mall. Like, they had the mini art mart. It was basically an artist alley during the Cherry Blossom Festival, and that's what I used to do. But that's dissolved now, so I think I'm gonna have to go and get an actual spot at the Cherry Blossom Festival. Why is my proportions all fucked up, dude? Making art that has value to people. What do you mean by that? Like, you want it to have some kind of political message? Do you want to... Because value could be anything. I have a friend who does all hentai work, and makes more money than I do. That's for goddamn sure. And I mean, a lot of people would argue that what he does isn't, quote, real art. People think he's a little sleazy, and I'm like, it's what he enjoys, and there are people who need that stuff, you know? So that's where the value to his work comes from. So when you say you want art that's value to people, who are you trying to target? Like, what are you looking for? Because inherently what I do really has no value to it other than I enjoy doing it, and ah, damn it. Okay. Some tips for drawing the face of an anime character. Do you know how to draw the face of a real person? The reason do you know how to draw the face of a real person? Like, without having to look it up? Alright, that's funny. You want people to consider your art real art? But I mean, like, that's gonna come and go. Like, it shouldn't matter what people think. Like, here's the thing, okay? If the audience knew what they wanted, then they would just be the artist. But they don't have trained eyes. You'll have a lot of people with their opinion, like people who aren't trained, people who have a bias, people who have been around longer who refuse to change. There are all these little factors into people's opinions about artwork and what your art would be or wouldn't be, that there's so much variation that you should just really not give a shit and just do what you're gonna do. Like, who cares, dude? Like, fucking every form of art could make money, so I wouldn't even be worried about that. So I don't know. I wouldn't trip too much about it, unless you're looking for like personal validation. In which, hey, I totally get that. You do you. I get that. You know, we all can understand that. Yeah. So Chun Chun. My advice for drawing really good anime faces is you need to learn how to draw real life faces. Because okay, I'm sure you know this, but I'll explain it in case somebody watches this video or whatever. But anytime you have something that's not based on, anytime you have a drawing that's not real, like anime, is not like realistic, right? Like that's a style. That's called a style. All style is derived from realism. Like, so I guarantee you all the good anime and manga artists know how to draw real life. They do a lot of life drawing. They have a lot of understanding of no style, and no style means real life. And what they do is they're able to take aspects from realism and dick around with it so that they can make their anime characters look good. If all you're doing are trying to copy other anime characters, you're never going to be able to match what they look like. Like, it's just not going to happen. Probably. I mean, I'm sure some people can, but the best way to go about it is to study realism so that you can do it very efficiently. And then once you understand like real stuff, then you could start dicking around and changing the proportions and stuff. Like when I draw my females, I like to draw a little bit longer neck. I like to draw a little bit longer legs, just because that's just the style that I like. But I have to understand realism first. You should. At this point, everyone will buy... Oh my god, they're doing work outside the apartment. Hold on. At this point, you can make money off of any kind of artwork that you want to make. Like, you can. So I wouldn't even use money as a... I wouldn't even trip, dog. I wouldn't even trip about the money of it, because everything could sell if you do it right. It's as long as you stick to, you know, the particular thing that you want to draw, and as long as you can execute that pretty, like, really well, then you should be fine. Should be. Yeah, there are a lot of people who don't even consider digital art. Okay, like, I go to a lot of conventions, right? Like, a lot. There are so many people who don't, to this day, don't consider digital art to be real art. Like, they'll come up and say, so was this done by hand or was this done on the computer? And I have to explain to them, I'm all, well, some of my pieces are done digitally. Some of them are done with brush pens and inks. And anytime they hear, like, digital, they're like, oh, okay, fuck you, I'm out of here. You know, and it's just this... That's just one scenario, too. That's just one situation. Like, one aspect of it. So you're never going to please everyone. Not everyone's going to think that your art is considered real art for whatever reason they have. So, fuck them. Fuck them. Just do what you're going to do. Yeah. Here. This is the book. This is a book that I recommend everyone who's trying to learn realism and anatomy. This is my favorite intro book. This is the one that really got me kick-started, and I think it's a really solid place to start. Figure Drawing for All It's Worth by Loomis. If you're starting from square one with realism, this is like legit. Which con would be better for you to try to sell prints at for the first time? SAC Anime or California Republic Comic Con? Okay, so... Fake them. You don't even have to fake them. Like, just do what you're gonna do. And as long as you're doing it really well, from what I've seen with most artists that I've come across, It's the people who are doing what they want and who are just like following through with their own ideas, and they're following through with them 100%. Those are the people who are doing the best. It's funny that the ones who are not placating to the people who are at the convention are the ones who are making the most money. However that works, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Gothcore? So California Republic Comic Con, I believe California Republic Comic Con is a 1 day. I think that's in what, Madera? Um, Really small. I'll be at that one because I have nothing else going on that day, but you have to be aware that that is a really small show, so your earnings there are going to be low relative to something like SAC Anime. Honestly, if you could only do one, I would do SAC Anime. Um, Here's the problem with SAC Anime though. They have SAC Anime has so many artists, like so many of them, that it could be hard to get noticed there. And the tables are not cheap. Honestly, if you could apply for Crunchyroll, because you said you're in the Bay Area, right? You said you're northern, right? If you're able to get into Crunchyroll, which is the same weekend as SAC Anime, Crunchyroll is going to be in San Jose. If you can get into that, I think you should test it out there first. Yeah, California Republic Comic Con is too small to be a fair way to gauge your artwork. Um, and SAC Anime, the Artist Alley is too big for the amount of attendees they have. So you could be an amazing artist and just not do well there because the money gets spread too thin. Like the audience, like the foot traffic goes, like they scatter, and it's hard to get attention there. Um, yeah, if you can get into Crunchyroll in San Jose, that's the one you want to do because there will be more foot traffic. There's smaller investment on your part, and the people there, you know how you're right by there. Fucking people in San Jose have more money than people in SAC. All that disposable income. Come on, switch poses now. Hey, what's up, Sumi? You don't understand how people draw bodies? Looks like you need Figure Drawing for All It's Worth by Andrew Loomis. Oh, this is a 10-minute pose? God damn it. I hate 10-minute poses. When doing figure drawing, I really hate long poses because I'll get bored. Like if I go to a figure drawing class, like okay, this is a 15-minute pose. I'll have it done in like what 5 or 6 minutes, right? And then I'll just sit there and then I'll draw the other people who are drawing because I get bored. I mean, it's just in regards to that book. I don't mean to like. It's not like the greatest book in the world, you know, but it's fairly inexpensive. It comes hardcover. It hits all the basic points. Um, I don't know. I think it's just like the perfect starter book. The concepts in it aren't too crazy. The drawings and the directions are really concise. There's a lot of diagrams in it. I think I lost the dust cover to mine though, which really kind of pisses me off because I'm very anal. I don't buy a lot of art books, so I'm very anal about trying to keep mine. That's why I don't buy a lot of art books. So when I do, I buy hardcover ones because I want to keep them forever. And I lost the dust cover to mine. That? Oh, no, these right here, the way I draw heads, um like the top of the head, I like to when I'm sketching, I like to put like a kind of like a center point so that when I'm drawing the head in perspective, I can be better about like does that make sense? So it's not an eyeball, it's more of a center point. Where is this pickle? Um, yeah, when I'm doing my studies, it just helps me anchor everything. See? Like, I'll know that's the top of the head. I don't really need to do it anymore, but I mean, I don't want to fall out of practice. And so when you're studying, when you're sketching, it's a good habit. Um, so like, we'll do, you know what we'll do? We'll turn this into a little tutorial. So like, um, when you're drawing anything, you should always take into account perspective, right? So like this is the center line. So everything you see from this point right here, and you could set your center line anywhere, you're gonna see it like straightforward, right? You're gonna see the person head on. And then anything above the center line. Now this is doing the little circle helps me keep things in perspective, right? So everything above the center line here, you're going to be seeing the face from underneath, you know? Whoops. And that's what that little center line was for. And then over here, see everything from on top. Does that make sense? So that's what that little circle thing is. initially what I used it for. I didn't learn that anywhere. It's just something I started doing because I found it helped me. Can you demonstrate the logic behind drawing forms that extrude from around objects like a spiked ball? So, okay, I'll try and help, but I'm not quite sure what you're looking for. So, wow, that's an ugly circle. Okay, well, that's the closest thing you'll get to a circle from me. So what do you, like, you want to know how to draw the spikes coming out of the ball kind of thing? You know, here, let me go to the next page so I can use a bigger... let me use a darker pen so you can see what's going on. Gonna use the felt tip. Okay. Alright, so... Damn it. Okay. Close enough. How to describe this? So like let's say the very top of the circle is right here, okay? Okay. Um, I guess if you're having trouble with that, you just have to remember what the form of a ball looks like. You know what I mean? It should be like that. So everything you draw has to be in line with this. So when it makes contact with the ball or the sphere, you have to make sure that you have the curve that goes along with the ball. Does that make sense? So what that would look like without all the lines would look like this. Talking about that? Just not as messy. That's a little messy, but you get the idea. So I guess let's reverse engineer this. So I guess the issue would be, well, let's specifically answer your question. Like, specifically, what are you having trouble with when you're doing this? Where it's gonna make contact with the ball, you're gonna have to remember to keep the. Yeah, yeah. So pretty much just always keep in mind the shape. So figure out where the top of your object is, figure out what your perspective is. Always keep in mind that it's rounding off, because if you try and stick it flat like this, then that's going to look weird, right? Because that should be, if it's touching right here, then it should be shaded, like there's, you know, it won't touch on those sections right there. Oh, like geometric shapes? Do you do a lot of perspective work? Like, I can't do precision, like, there we go. You know, not really. Do more perspective work, and that should really help you figure things out. So like, This is a little wonky just because I threw it together, but let's say I need a thicker brush. So let's say we were going to work in this square right here. All right. So the very center of our cube, hopefully you could see the cube, it's going to be right here. So that's where the top of the sphere will touch it, right? So I'm just going to eyeball this. Okay. Say that's the top of the sphere. Everything is going to come out around it. Okay. And if this is the center line, you're going to have lines like that, like that. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. So, well, I mean, perspective is universal. You don't have to be expert or novice. This is perspective. Literally everything you draw has to be drawn in some kind of perspective. You know, whether you're looking at a character straight on, if you're looking at a character's like yeah, so like for example, can you see this page okay? Over here? You want me to move it over just a little bit? Okay. Like you're always looking at something in perspective, okay? What's perspective? Perspective is like, all right, this is me, okay? Okay, that's me right there. Okay. I'll be serious. Hold on. Okay, so now this is going to be really important. So like let's say this is a person right here. When you're drawing anything, you have to imagine that somebody's looking at, like somebody's, when you're drawing anything, you have to imagine that's coming through somebody's eyeballs, okay? So like let's say you wanted to make a poster print, right? You wanted to make a poster print of some anime girl, right? Here's a big mistake that a lot of the people who try and sell their artwork in the artist alley that I've seen, or even people who post a lot of stuff online. So say you have to imagine like somebody's actually looking at your drawing, right? That would set your horizon line right there in the way you would set up the drawing. That means if you're drawing let's say you're going to draw an anime chick, right? Everything above your horizon line, you're actually going to be seeing from a perspective of you're looking up at that. Everything down there you're going to be seeing as a perspective as you're looking down. So here, let's go to the next page just so I can get a bigger sheet to show you. So like if this was the horizon line and I was looking at it, so I'm, that's where I am right there, right? That's what I'm looking at. So every line you make above that has to be this motion right here, and everything below it is this motion right here. So like if I were to draw an arm right here, okay? If I drew the arm, then this bottom muscle is always going to overtake that. I wouldn't draw it like that. Does that make sense? This part, like that, right here, because you're seeing it like that. So if you apply that to everything, Now, it doesn't have to be this extreme, but I'm making this an extreme perspective example for the sake of our little argument, right? Our little lesson here. And then everything down here is going to be like this. Now, you can set your horizon line wherever you want. It doesn't matter. But as long as you follow those rules, your picture is going to look so much better because it's going to look more natural. See? So, like, we'll do one more. We'll do one more. Like, let's say my eyeballs are staring at this line right here. Okay? So my horizon line is a lot higher than it was before. So I'm going to be drawing the character straight up. Straight up. Okay. That means everything from underneath is going to be drawn with this motion right here. So you're going to have your character now. This is when learning how to draw characters into perspective is going to really separate your artwork from, you know, people who aren't practicing this, I guess, would be the best way to say it. Does that make sense? A lot of the times, you'll see something where they'll just draw their character and everything is flat. You know, flat face right here. This is just facing forward. You know, the chest is facing forward. The pelvis is facing forward, and the knees are just like to the side, right? It's a very flat, very boring picture. That's why it's boring. Because there's no energy to it. There's no perspective. Don't do that. I mean, do whatever the fuck you want, but, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it all the time. Aha! See, Louis? From now on, when you look at... Alright, Louis, so I've ruined it for you now. When you go online and you see pictures of people who do character work, pay attention to this from now on. If they're not doing this, then they're not paying attention. If they do this, then you can know you could respect that artist just a little bit more. Yeah, this right here, that's what we call bullshit. Don't do that. Again, you don't have to listen to what I say, but what I'm saying is right, so you can decide what you want to do. Just always keep in mind that everything has to be drawn in perspective. Okay, here's a sketch I did. Here's a sketch I did the other day. Okay, I just did this off the top of my head, so my horizon line is probably right here would be my horizon line right here. So I'm looking. It's really flat right here, and I kind of just do this instinctually now. Like I don't even think about it. So it's my lines are flat, and then they wave up here, and they wave up, and then see I could see the top of her knees or her legs right here. So that's kind of looking down. So I'm more looking at it like that. Again, boom, boom. Even this here, that's the old granny gun sketch. So you could see from underneath her right here, from angles right here, so I could see underneath. So I must be looking at her around this area right here. Same thing with this sketch. I'm probably seeing it from right here, because you're seeing it from underneath. But yeah, anyway, see what I mean? Just apply it to everything. I mean, I could always just cut this part out of this live stream and turn it into a tutorial. But yeah. Would should I start doing quick tutorials where I swear a lot in them? Anyway, does that help? Does that make more sense now? If you're having trouble, now you could apply that to anything. You could apply that to objects, you could apply it to cars, to people. Every single thing that you draw should fall into those perspective rules. And then all your drawings will level up from there. Like even if the way you draw people doesn't improve right away, as long as you're doing that, it'll just look better. I hope that I've ruined a lot of people's viewing experiences of other artists now. You're welcome. Yep. I've ruined it for you, Louie. Now from now on, you're always gonna think about it, and when you see it, you're gonna be like, "Ah, this person's a rookie," or they're inattentive, rather. Can't watch South Park now. Damn it. Alright, these are timed live drawings, by the way. So if I go, damn it, that means that I wasn't able to complete the piece. Well, I mean, style taken into account, but you know what I'm talking about. Damn it. Come on. Damn it. Come on. Nope, we're gonna finish this one. Fucking 1 minute poses. Oh, do you know what really helped me? Um, Draw people, um, just in general. I go to a lot of conventions and I carry my sketchbook around with me. And if I ever work a convention that's really slow, I kind of just I'll pull out my sketchbook and I'll people draw, I'll people watch. So as people are passing by, you get like 10 seconds or whatever to try and get their shape down, and then you can really just try to build off of your memory um, of what they look like. So that'll really increase your speed. Just go sit at Walmart or something and just watch people walk by. God damn it. That's a little off. Have you drawn anime still frames? Oh yeah. One Punch Man has really good poses. I like One Punch Man still frames for poses because unlike a lot of other anime, One Punch Man's very good about keeping like very realistic anatomy to their characters if you pay attention. So that's a really good resource. Plus it's just fun to watch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've done this. I've used this model before. Because this shit all looks very familiar. Her glutes are tightening because she's using her muscle to lift up her leg. It's a pretty demanding position right there. Well, if it was easy, then everyone would be doing it, and then wouldn't be cool anymore. That's exactly right. I'm trying to kill all my pens, by the way. I have a lot of like kind of used pens that have been sitting around for a few months. I'm using the sketchbook as an opportunity to try and kill a lot of them so I can throw them away. Because I can't warrant throwing away like a working pen. I can't do it. But I'll throw out a dead pen. So. So, let me ask you something, Sumi. When you start drawing a character, where do you start? What part of the body do you start on? Well, everyone has to practice at anything if they want to get really good at it. It's not just art, you know, like it'd be really cool if I knew how to play the drums, you know what I mean? But I'm not, I'm not willing to put in the practice time for it because I don't care that much about it. Like I think it'd be cool, but I don't actually care about it. So, you know, and you don't have to like, you know, I don't know, like everyone acts like they have to be a professional artist, like you don't really. If you don't plan to be a professional at it, get to the level that you feel comfortable at and damn it. Oops, that's no good. I mean, everyone thinks they have to be like a professional artist, and you really don't, if you're just doing it as a hobby or just for some online fun, you know what I mean? Like, just do it to whatever extent, because once you get to the point where you're stressed out about it, like if you're a professional and you're stressed out about your work all the time, that's one thing. But if you're doing it for recreation and you have no intention of going full time with it, I don't understand like what the big deal, like why that trips you out, like, or why that trips people out. I'm like, just enjoy something to whatever extent you want to enjoy it to, and once it stops being enjoyable, maybe you just don't like doing it anymore. And again, that's different if you're gonna go like professional with it because you know it's competition and all that. Do you ever draw because you're bored and it turns out amazing, but then when you try to draw, it turns out shit? Oh yeah. That's why the key is to just draw all the time. Most of the poster prints that I sell at conventions actually just came right out of my sketchbook. Like, I straight up just... I mean, I took the idea from my sketchbook and then I'll elaborate on it. just to, you know, heighten the quality of it. But I think I have two pieces. I straight up I didn't even scan it. I just took a picture with my phone from my sketchbook, and then I took it into Photoshop and did my best to up the resolution, and then I turned them into prints, and they sell. So, I mean, that's why when earlier one was saying in the chat that they want to make work that's considered real art, you know, I mean, I have a piece that I sell that I spent over 500 hours on. I have another piece that I took about 40 minutes on, and I have both of them in my catalog to purchase. I don't consider one any less than the other. Well, one makes more money for me, so I like that one more, but that's just me. My phone keep going to sleep. Joke's on you, Louie. I still can't draw clouds. Because I think that was the last time I drew clouds. Because I don't give a fuck about no goddamn clouds. Oh! Finally. This right here needs to be outwards more. Question, does anyone in this group still play Pokemon Go? Just check in. got distracted. You stopped playing 2 days ago? You stopped when the game started getting fun again? No, I'm really behind in my Pokemon Go. Just haven't really been in. Well, okay, like I said, the only time I really play Pokemon Go is when I'm traveling, right? Like I don't make time to really play on the day to day. You know, I'll turn it on when I'm at home, just to see what's around me. But I'm not gonna go out and hunt. But when I travel for conventions, when I'm at the convention center, I'll have it on. I'll be walking to the car, and there's like something there, and I'll go chase after it, and it's fun. But I haven't been traveling the past couple weeks, so I'm so behind. I know they released, what is this, the second to the last wave of Generation 3? And I'm like, oh my god, I don't have anything. Which sucks. Anyway, I was just wondering if anyone still played, because I'm behind now. Oh, phone storage, okay. Whoops. That's not right. Oh well. Fuck this pose. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to take a quick little 5-minute break, and then we shall return. See what Pokemon are around here. Zigzagoon. Oh, look, it's a pump. All right, we are back. Have I ever showed you guys my living travel decks? So, because you guys know I travel a lot, right? So, you guys know I travel a lot. So what I'm doing, hopefully it'll focus. Focus. Okay. So I'm building a living Pokedex, but I'm naming all the Pokemon after the city that I captured them in. So what I'm trying to do is keep at least one, preferably like 3, but at least one Pokemon from every city that I've visited. So I have a bunch of New York Pokemon here: Queens, Bronx, Rosemead, Santa Clara, Santa Clarita, Portland, Palm Springs. Where's it? Anaheim, Wichita. Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. I don't have my I don't have Swampert yet, which sucks. I got 3 Lotads though. Yeah. Anyway, this is what I do when I travel. Play Pokemon. Guess we'll get back to work. Got a little nicotine in me. I'm feeling good now. Damn it. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad that worked out for you. Damn it. 1 minute, my ass. Oh, I like that pose. This is like the most pretentious music ever. Oh, let us do art. Ding-ding-ding. I like to listen to Rick and Morty while I draw. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but there's not a lot of you here, and also I don't care. But I've actually I like listening and watching to existential exploration things while I'm drawing, because sometimes I'll get, you know, I'm just like everyone else. I get frustrated when I draw, but when I'm listening to something or watching something that reminds me that nothing matters, that it really frees me up to just kind of draw at my own pace, and then I just have a good time. So there's a little secret for you. No, I was just kidding about the pretentious thing. I was just making fun of, Anyway. No, I know instrumental music is supposed to help you focus. It's supposed to help with your brain development and stuff, which is smart, but I guess I just don't respond to it because I don't have a lot of brain. Oh, damn. Rock music? That's legit. Is it mostly instrumental rock music, or is it full on like lyrical? It's like music. Actually goes out here. Whoops, I fucked this one all up. Are we in 2-minute poses now? Okay, okay. This should be down here. This should be up here. Okay. Nice. Oops. So I would like your guys' input on something. Would you guys mind if I asked you a question? Well, fuck, I'm just gonna ask you. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm a little distracted. I have a friend, or a colleague, rather, who made a big rant about, the feeling of your artwork is more important than the technical execution of your artwork. And, you know me, I'm all about, you know, like, improving technically. I think artwork has to be both, but her argument, or his, whoops, argument was, no, as long as the feeling is there, technical aspect of it, while that's important, is not, like, it becomes irrelevant if your artwork, brings out an emotion in people. So I guess the point that she was making was, yeah, being technically good is important, but once you get a particular feeling out of a piece, then your technical whatever is irrelevant. I totally disagree with that, but what do you guys think? Because to me, that just sounds like an excuse to not get better. Damn it. Yeah, it's both. But her argument is, or his argument is, as soon as you can evoke the emotion, then nothing else matters. Like, nothing else matters. And I'm like, nah, you still need to be, like, good. Like, you should still know what you're doing. I messed this drawing all up. My brain is, like, not in this one. I'll let the clock click down on this one. Well, industrial design, because that's more of, like, function, right? Like, you're just trying to... Yeah, I messed up on this one. I'll sit this one out. I'll wait till the next pose pops up. I'll fold on this one. Okay, I guess it is that part of it is subjective as to what the artist wants. But, you know, that's the same thing as me saying as long as you do it technically correct, then you don't need emotion. You know, I think that's just as wrong as saying as long as you have emotion, your technical aspect is irrelevant. You know. Anyway, that was just an interesting thing we got into, and I was like, I don't know. That doesn't seem right. All right, here we go. Better poses. Here we go. Well, I guess right is a point of view. That just doesn't sound like something I agree with, rather. 'Cause fuck. Did I ever tell you guys the time I went to the Kansas City Museum of Art? If you've been following me for a while, you know I've talked about this before. So I went to the I went to the Kansas City Museum of Art, and they had very large canvases up on the wall, like very, very large. I'm talking like 100 inch by like 70 inch canvases, right? And it'd just be like single color, and people were just like gawking at it, like, oh yeah, I can. I don't know. That kind of stuff to me, I don't. Maybe I just don't get it. And if it's as simple as me not understanding it, then that's fine, whatever. But I don't like the idea of something like that being hung up next to like a master painting with like perfect lighting and rendering, and you know, something that took thousands of hours of practice. You know, if you're watching an ice skating competition and somebody falls down, you don't give them the same amount of points as somebody who, you know, was able to execute their moves, you know, because they practiced it more. Like my half axle that I fall on is not as valuable as somebody who trained for 10 years to perform a triple axle. You know what I mean? Anyway, just thought I'd start a conversation about that. But it doesn't matter because we're all gonna die, so whatever. Oh, the whole pretentiousness thing is not just fine art anymore? I guess it is in kind of everything now, huh? But at the same time, is it pretentious of me to say that it's not art? You know what I mean? I think that's why I kind of stopped really thinking about that kind of stuff. Because people, like, my friends will ask me sometimes what I think about, like, modern art and things like that, or performance art. Where some chick is like sitting, who will sit in paint. Like, she'll sit down into a bucket of paint and then like paint with her ass. And I'm like, sure dude, whatever. I don't get it, but more power to her. You know? I think it just perplexes me. I don't think I have strong emotions in any way other than it just perplexes me more than anything. I'm just like, huh? Okay. I messed this one up too because I'm talking. I'm not paying attention. Yeah. That's why I said I think for the most part it's more just me not understanding it. Like I'm just so confused by it. I'm confused by the appeal of it, I think. Like I can't grasp what the appeal is. Cuz like when you watch something like the Kardashians or whatever, even though I don't like it, I get the appeal, you know? It's vicarious living, it's escapism. When you have a giant canvas that has just a bunch of orange spots on it, I don't get it. Like that's not escapism, because I don't know. Like it's not offering you anything. You know. Anyway, Louis, you're a master artist. You tell me what's up. Ding. Oh shit. Anna's light painting. Yeah, storytelling in a piece. That's storytelling in a an illustration or a painting. That is a technical thing. That's something you have to learn how to do, you know? And you do that through execution of composition. You know what I mean? So that's a technical thing, you know? Anyway, I'm a little exhausted on this topic. It doesn't matter, we're all gonna die. Whatever. Boobs. I'm bored of this pose. Oops. Thank you, Louis. You seem to have the answers every time I fumble, so that's why I keep you around. And true, you know what? At the end of the day, those art pieces that I don't understand, you know, like the big blotches of paint and all that, whoever did it made that money. And if that's, we don't know, like, if that's what they were going for, then damn, more power to them, right? That's pretty legit if you think about it. I think I've talked about this before. Well, to be fair, I've been streaming for like 2 hours now, so... How's it been going, though? How's everything on your end? Tofu? How's everything on your end? Okay, so let me get, at the end of the day, these are parallel, you're already successful artists. There's a parallel universe where you're a successful artist, and when you're not, blank canvas. There you go, exactly. Everybody's gonna die. That's what we should just call these live streams. Everybody's gonna die. And whenever somebody new comes in, they're gonna be like, so what are you drawing today? I'm like, it doesn't matter. Why not? Because we're all gonna die. Oh, whoops. Not paying attention. Oh, I have to clarify. I don't know how to say anybody's name on the live stream other than Louis. That's only because Louis's name is literally Louis, and I've known him for like 8 years. No, that is inspiration though. That is inspiration. Like, that's inspiring. If you know eventually, okay, we're gonna get real right now, okay? Y'all ready? We're gonna get real. If you know that the fact, it's not an opinion, it's a fact, that eventually we're all just gonna die, okay? So you have a few choices. Well, actually, you only have two choices. You can either spend your life trying to do the thing that you want to do, whatever you find your purpose to be, which is subjective. You know, mine, that I've decided for myself, is to just be a really good artist, as best as I could be with what time I have here. You know, and do it to the point where you can enjoy it the most. That's like the most inspiring thing. That's like the most motivational thing you could possibly hear. You know what I mean? Because when it's either 1 or 0, and you're either going to do and find the thing that you love to do, or you're not, and if you choose not to, then you could just chill and just play video games all day and enjoy your life. I'd argue that's more inspiring and motivational than like anything else. Because the only truth we have is that we're all going to die. Like, that is the only thing we have. And any other subjective meaning you find on the way to that is all up to you. You know what I'm saying? So. Can I do vape tricks? Absolutely not. I could barely even vape without coughing. Yeah, it's like one of the reasons I don't, you know, like, a lot of the most common question I got when I was doing, because I do live drawings at the conventions now, right? Just live ink on canvas. I don't use a pencil or anything, right? One of the common questions I get is, aren't you worried you're going to mess up? I'm like, I don't really care. Like, I don't really care. There are more canvases that have other conventions that I can go to. I don't care. I don't know. You get what I'm saying though, right? Like that should be like the best motivation ever. Anyway. Well, then I guess I'm not getting any new, any new subscribers then. Don't worry, they'll warm up to it. If not, then they probably shouldn't be on my channel anyway. Are we on number 18? Let's go to 19. Ooh, Ninja Turtles. That's fun. I mean, I'm sure you've got this. I'm sure you've got it all figured out already. Like, the small things about it, but I guess if I were to do that, again, I'm sure you've thought of it already, but if I were to do that with all the Ninja Turtles, I think the only thing I'd be concerned about was getting their pose to match their personality. Ah, I messed this up. I messed this up. Oh, man. God damn it. So I'm doing timed figure drawings. So right now we're doing 1-minute poses. So the reason I'm not finishing some of these is because I run out of time. And if you hear me go, damn it, or like mumble to myself, that's because I didn't finish the piece on time. That's what's happening. Oh, let me get your opinion on something. Louis, are you still here? If um Okay, so hold on, let me finish this pose and then we'll move on to the question. So 4th of July weekend is Anime Expo in Los Angeles, California. It's the biggest show. It's my best-selling show um, of my entire year. Okay, so I recently got invited to do. Now that's in Los Angeles. I'm from California, so that's really close. Um, I got invited to do a show in Paris, France, called Japan Expo, which totes about twice as many attendance as Anime Expo. So, I have the opportunity to abandon Anime Expo this year for Japan Expo, but a part of me thinks I should wait till next year. Should I do that or just stop being a bitch, cancel my AX table, and go to Paris and then do their show there? Uh, so Louis, remember you came with me to Japan Expo back in like 2015 or something? Japan Expo over in San Mateo, and it was a really, really bad show. But that, remember I told you that was a show that was based over in Europe, and over in Europe it's like a huge event. Well, their Anime Expo numbers are about 110 to 120,000. Japan Expo is over 250,000 attendees. No, I'm doing New Masters Academy. The YouTube channel. It's just because I really like Anime Expo, because I have so much fun. Like, I already have my table. I have everything booked for Anime Expo already. A bunch of my friends are going. I have a good time there, and it's a lot of money. You know, do I want to cut that out to try my hand at something where the investment is going to be like 3 times as much? You know what I'm saying? Yes, I was thinking about that too. I was like, how would that work, right? How would I? I mean, I'm sure they speak English over there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know anything. Well, I don't know anything about anything really, but I don't think I know anything about Paris. Um, about how common the English is. If you live in Paris or have been to Paris, like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me if there would be a language barrier. Because I barely speak English, so I don't know. Here's the question though, Louis. I can go get Mr. Mime if I go if I go to Paris. That's quite the conundrum, isn't it? Ah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, when I do shows in the Bay Area, I already run into Japanese people who don't speak English, and I'm like, ah, okay. Like, I want to do Tokyo Comic Con, but the reason I haven't signed up or even attempted to, because I'm like, I would not be able to make sales there. Like, nobody, like, I'd have to hire, like, a translator or something, or I'd have to get an assistant to run my tape, you know what I mean? I guess I could just do live drawing. See, but then I have to bring an assistant. I could do live drawing and then have my assistant who speaks French, you know? But they have so many dialects there. So I don't know how that would work. Oh man. Does anyone here follow Gary Vaynerchuk? Gary V. Well, I mean, I would do it. The only thing that turns me off of going, other than like the language barrier and all that, all that's all like little technical things that I'm sure I could work around. I think the thing that turns me off is having, because it lands on the same weekend as Anime Expo, and AX is just such a huge chunk of my income, you know? And it's just like I would have to be risking that. I think that's what turns me off of it. If it were like any weekend in the year, I didn't care if it was Fanime weekend, I wouldn't care if it's fucking New York Comic Con weekend. I'll dump those shows for that. But AX is kind of like, it's that show that makes me happy I live in California because my investment is so low and it's like stacks. It's like every other show that I go to in the rest of the year, it's like fun, just to the point where I just wait till AX comes around. And then I'm like, well, this pays for everything else for the rest of the year. And part of next year, you know? Anyway, who here follows Gary V? Because I got a cool little story. Real talk, I'm not gonna lie. The high from paying off my student loans wore off real quick. Like, real quick. Um, it was kind of just like, now I don't have any real excuse to, like before I'd be like, well, I'm not gonna go and do this. I'm not gonna go do that because I need to save and pay off my student loans. I was like, I'm gonna kill myself after I pay off my student loans. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But now that they're actually gone, I'm just like, man, what do I do now? Like what do I work towards now? It was such a huge anchor in my life that I was all like, I would base a lot of my decisions on how much of my student loan can I pay off, because I had a lot, like not as much as like a university student, of course not, but it was like it was such a determining factor in everything that I did, and I was just like, well, it's finally gone, Now what do I do? So there was a point around January where I kind of had to reevaluate why I'm still doing what I'm doing. You know? Wow, this one's all messed up. Yeah, the high from paying that off went away real quick. I believe I was in Arizona when I paid it off. I'm pretty sure by the time by the time I had left Arizona and I had landed back home, the high was already gone. And I think the thing that got me really thinking was, and we're just gonna get real right now, guys. We're gonna get real. Was like I've been working almost better part of a decade, right? Trying to pay off the student loans, and I finally did. And then the high from doing it was fleeting, like it was gone. Like I said, in just like a day, right? It was real cool to wake up and look at the bank account or excuse me, the student loan page and see that it was paid off. Like that's real cool, right? But it was gone, and I was like, I've been working towards this for the better part of 10 years, and if something this big doesn't even get me high, I was all like, is this as good? Is this as good as it gets? You know what I mean? I was like, oh no, now what? Oh, okay. You know what? That's actually that's a good solution, right? And you wonder why these millionaires and billionaires and they keep buying like you see them buying stupid shit and you're just like, what is wrong with you? And it's like, I guess once you've attained the power I'm not saying I'm a billionaire or anything, but I mean, I think I'm starting to get it a little bit. They're like, once you've attained the power to kind of get more freedom to do what you want, there's that possibility you're just gonna get bored, you know? So they buy these things and they put themselves into more debt. It's okay. Just wanted to share that tidbit with you guys. A follow up to my video of me paying off my student loan. Well, but that's oh shit. I don't know. Because I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. That's the thing. Like, if I were sad or depressed, then there'd be like a solution. You know what I mean? Like, I would just figure out what's making me depressed and then stop doing that. But that's not even it. I think I'm just like, I think I'm just bored. Hey Lyra, what is up? Thanks for being able to come through. I'm sure you're busy with Escuela. And Torreya. You'd feel more significant. Ah, subjective. Oh, I know this guy's been going viral the past like couple weeks, but there's a there's a song that I'm really digging right now, and I'll share it with you guys for a second. Hold on. I'm gonna leave the chat for a second. There's a song that I'm really digging. There you go. No, you don't need a tragic backstory or like a rough upbringing or anything like that to matter, you know. You can grow up in the most boring, safe way and As long as you find your own subjective meaning, then nothing really, nothing else matters. There's no prerequisite to be important. You know, people like to put other people down for growing up in like stable households and shit because it's cool. It's cool to be from the streets and shit now. Like I don't know. You weren't in control of where you came from, so you may as well just embrace it, basically. But what do I know? Other than that, we're all gonna die. Oh, with school and homework. Lyra, that's what I said. School and homework. I got a hangnail. Hanging from my cuticle. But yeah, anyway, I don't want to get too much on that topic, but it's like I came from a good family, and my family, they were immigrants and they worked really hard so that I can have a good life and do what I want versus like what I have to do. What's one of the reasons like I didn't really feel bad about quitting my career as a mechanic because I wasn't enjoying it, and I was like, well, I don't think my dad worked this hard so that I could end up doing a job that I hate forever. So oh, it wouldn't load. Anyway, um, that's like one of my new favorite songs right at the moment. That's one of my repeat songs at the moment. Ah, oh boy, I'm tired. All right, so we're at 19. Let's go to 20. Boo. I'm back to drinking coffee. I was doing tea for a while and actually felt really good. I think I'm gonna make tea right now because coffee's making me feel like shit. Anyway. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna go make me some tea, and I'll come back. Yeah, the only reason I have an art career now is because I started posting my work onto YouTube, and then people saw it, and then they hired me for work, slowly, gradually. But and when I started, YouTube isn't what it is now, so it might be a little harder now. But if I hadn't been posting it onto YouTube, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now because no one would have known that I existed. So I'm very happy that you're starting a YouTube channel. Also, YouTube's free, so I mean, why not? And if you're gonna be drawing anyway, that's the thing. Like, people who make content for YouTube, they have to like write stuff and produce and all this whatever. Things like speed paints, you're gonna be drawing anyway, right? Like you're just gonna draw anyway. So just put it on YouTube because that will make that drawing just a little bit more valuable. You know what I mean? Like why not? Like with my vlogs, yeah, it takes a little bit of extra time and effort because I'm trying to make the production quality higher because oh, damn it, I ran out of time already. I'm trying to make the production quality higher because I like video editing. That's a personal thing. But like I'm gonna be selling at conventions regardless. So that's why I turned the camera on. So that I could vlog it. And then once the vlogs, I found out the information in the vlogs are valuable to other people, that's when I started putting more effort into it, So we don't have to write out content. We can just record what we're doing anyway, which is infinitely easier than what a lot of people on YouTube have to do. So, I mean, we're lucky that we're lucky like that we could put out content like that, you know. So yeah, just turn your camera on, turn your screen capture device on while you're gonna draw, or just do what I do and just stream it. Ah, damn it, slow. But yeah, that's why I live stream my drawings, because one, it'll just automatically build an audience because I'm gonna be drawing anyway, so it's like barely any extra effort. And plus, if I live stream it, then I don't have to go through the effort of like recording it because it'll already be recorded, and then I just have to download it. So I, I'm using it as a way to like get my work out there, work that I'm gonna do regardless. Plus, it makes my life a little easier because then it's just like it's online already. Like I don't have to I don't have to edit the video. I just download it later if I want to do something with it. Well, you don't have to stream quite yet, do it. I mean, I would argue that the best way to get comfortable live drawing is to just start drawing live. Um, what about it? Um, what about it makes you afraid? You don't have to be entertaining, by the way. You could like it's good to interact with people, but you could do what I do when I don't feel like when I don't feel like talking. You just play some music, like you just start your live stream. You're like, all right, guys, so today we're probably gonna draw this maybe, and then you just put some music on, and then you just shut off your mic. And then as long as you're putting your artwork online, that's still better than not putting it online, you know? And if you live stream it, people are interested in watching it. Like Art Germ, when he has his streams, he's not like sitting there and talking. When Nips is drawing, she'll have her mic off a lot of the times. Damn it, this leg is buff. Ah, shit. Let's go back. I want to finish that one. Oh, you're afraid of them seeing you make mistakes? Well, who cares? I mean, like, I know that's a hard thing to get over, you know, public speaking. Like, it probably falls into the same line as why people are afraid of speaking in public. It's because you don't want to look dumb in front of people, right? How much dumb shit have I done since you've known me, Lyra? Like, how much stupid shit have I said online? Like, I've made so many mistakes on my streams, and you know, I think that ultimately comes down to one, you not caring, but then even if that is an issue that you have, you could just call your stream like art practice or something, and then if the stream is called art practice, and then you're making like mistakes, or you call it art study and you're making mistakes, if that's what you're worried about, then people will be like, oh well, I mean, it's a study stream, so I don't. They shouldn't really, you know, they're gonna go in not expecting like perfection. Like this, look at all this craziness that I've been doing in these sketchbooks, just nonsense, right? Like maybe it looks good, like from where you're sitting, but a lot of this is kind of nonsense, right? A lot of what I'm doing today isn't perfect, so I don't know. Just I know it's a hard thing to get over, but if you can get over it, or if you could find a workaround and just be like, well, this is a study. I'm just studying. I'm just going to free draw today, you know? You know, just kind of cover your ass and, you know. What? Michael, what? You're afraid to stream? It's just weird at first, but I've been streaming for years, so that's why I'm used to it. Plus, you know what really helped me? Selling at conventions actually really helped me, because now I'm like a friggin' car salesman, you know? Like I can talk to anyone. I could walk to someone up, I could walk up to someone on the street and start a conversation with them now. I didn't used to be able to do that. That's just like a skill, people skill I developed over time. But the point is, you're never gonna get better at it until you start practicing. And I think the good thing, or maybe the thing that you're forgetting, is that once you start, you're not going to have a bunch of viewers right away. You'll start off with like 2 or 3 viewers. You might get a fan who's going to drop in on a lot of them. You know what I mean? Kind of like how you started coming into mine, Lyra. You know, like Lyra, when you started coming into my streams, which was a long time ago, like I didn't have a lot of followers back then. I still don't have a lot of people who watch my streams, but it'll give you the opportunity to practice with just like a few people here and there, right? Now, let's say you go the other way around, where you don't live stream, but you end up building a big audience, and then later on you start trying to live stream, but you don't know how. And now you have all these people in your chat trying to hit you up, and you just don't know how to interact with them because you don't have any live stream practice, you know? So I think later on down the road, if streaming your art or interacting with people is something you're gonna do, like, eventually, I think it's better to start now, when you won't have to, you know, entertain a whole bunch of people. You only have to entertain 1 or 2, maybe 3 people at a time, you know? Yeah, because like once you make an artist page, like an Instagram, an art Instagram or an art whatever social, and then once you start streaming, you're gonna share that stream on social media, right? You're gonna be like, all right, check me out. Well, when you're getting started, the only people who are gonna really follow you are gonna be your friends and family, right? And then if it's your friends pop in, like my buddy Louie, I don't even know if he's still in the chat right now, but when Louie pops in, he's always popped into my streams. He was here before, like, oh wait. So it'll give you good practice. Like it'll be nice practice for when shit gets real, real. Like when I was live streaming the Pokemon drawing, there was a time when I would get like 70 viewers, and then the chat was all going crazy, and I was all like, okay, this is different. But I was able to interact with people because I'd been streaming so long, I got used to it. Now, had I not, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't got to reiterate it, but I would argue that the best time to start is when you have a small following, because then you could practice. And as your following grows, your practice will have gotten better, and then you'll be good to go once shit gets real. You know what I mean? Oh boy. Grass tastes bad. Oh man, what did I do? What did I do? Why did I do that? Or I'm wrong, and we're all just gonna die. See, I don't know anything about that, but I do know that over here in the US, people with any kind of foreign accent tends to do really well. You know that, right? Like, I don't know. Americans are super simple. Like we can, you'll get a good American audience because Americans are really simple. And if we hear someone with any kind of foreign accent, we're like, oh, that's awesome. That's cool. Like, you know, I'll watch this. So you know what? I wouldn't be too concerned about speaking English. Um, you know who Siren is, right? Siren, million fucking 3 million follower redhead artist chick, woman, female, excuse me. Hashtag. Um, her English is good, but I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, it's good, but it's not perfect. I don't know. I just don't think that the language barrier is that big of a deal. Or if you see someone in the comments, you could just straight up tell them, my English isn't that great, but I'll try to answer your question. And then they'll be like, okay. Like, people aren't as brutal as you think they are. Well, they are, but they're assholes. You could just not pay attention to them. No, but I don't know. I just don't think that's a good reason to not stream your work. Okay, how about this? How about Kim Jong-gi, right? Fucking world famous. Only speaks Korean. South Korea. I don't know what dialect, but he's from South Korea. Doesn't even speak English, you know? At all. Like, zero. But he, at his workshop, he was able to keep the attention of a crowd for 3 hours. I was there, and I sat there, and I didn't say a single word for 3 hours, you know? So, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that's a reason to not do something. He's a god, so you don't know if that's a good example. No, but then that's the thing. The point is, like, people didn't care. People don't care about that. Okay, so basically the whole point is, what do you have to lose by streaming? Nothing. What do you have to gain? Lots. Damn it. Ugh. That's a good counter argument, though, because he is a god, so there you go. Are you talking about me? Who are you talking to? No, Oh, okay, okay, okay. I forgot to. So, does anyone here follow Gary V? Gary Vaynerchuk? My bad. I was gonna start this conversation earlier, but I just kind of trailed off. Well, anyway, it's nothing like super like. Okay, I thought it was fucking amazing, but um, he had messaged me on Facebook and said that like, oh, his basically he had noticed, he took notice of my work and said it was really cool. So to me, I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. Yes. was all like validation that I didn't know I was looking for, but it felt good. Yeah, pretty sweet, huh? I was like, oh, I'm good. My night's made. No, because that's just an indicator to me that I'm doing all right, going in the good direction. Man, this pen right here has life in it. Well, I mean, who knows who knows how either him or people in his crew came across it, right? Because my artwork's like everywhere now online. So maybe one of his maybe like a personal assistant or something's a Pokemon fan or whatever, and then they looked at my stuff, and then you know what I mean. However, it is that happened. But the point I'm trying to make is one, it's really cool, you know, because I follow the shit out of him. So to get that to me is really cool. But also, it's a good like Lyra. What you can walk away from this is, I mean, if I never put my work out there, that wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? And it costs nothing to post your work online. So it's just like you just got to do it. You just got to do it. Like I've been featured on publications that have millions of followers, and I still only have 3,000 Instagram followers. You know what I mean? So it's like those numbers don't don't really mean anything. Don't really mean anything. But um, the fact is you're still putting it out there. So I mean, that's what you can walk away from that. How does it feel to see articles about my art? Very, very cool. Um, Again, it's that validation that I didn't know that I really wanted or cared for, but seeing it does make you feel good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it does. Yeah. Oh, dang, we have 10 people in the stream? That's actually a really good number for me. I don't normally hit 10. How's it going, 10 people? That's what I'm saying. Like, the numbers doesn't fucking matter, dude. Like, as long as you're putting it out there and you're improving and you're trying, I think in the long term, I'm calling this right now, and I've been saying it. In the long term, all I really care about is just being a really good artist, um, like skill wise, and I mean like truly good, like not passable, not cool. I want I want people to be like, what the fuck is this guy about? You know, I'm not quite there, but I mean that's what I'm working towards, and I feel like that being my goal. Um, so the decisions that I make with what I draw and how I run my business and my, you know, how I determine what I draw and all that stuff, like, um, I think the fact that I just kind of don't care about everything else that much, I think that's been good for my business, honestly. And I hadn't really thought about that until recently. That so many of my decisions that I've made, like when I at conventions, instead of selling all fan art, I wanted to move all my traditional art, or excuse, not original art, you know. So I was like, how do I, because real talk, my originals, they do move in sales, but they're not like super hot items. Like, the kids aren't gonna buy it, you know. My demographic to that is about 18 and up, you know, or even higher than that with my originals, like my cars and stuff. My demographic for that is much smaller than like a drawing of Goku. You know what I mean? Because everybody knows Goku. So the fact that they still move makes me happy. So I was all like, well, how do I get to the point where I can sell that? You know, so I had to kind of reverse engineer the idea to that, and I was all like, well, I need to be able to make enough money so that I could afford to experiment selling originals, you know. And that's why I made the Pokemon piece, or that's why I remade the Pokemon piece. That's why I did the League. That's why I did the Overwatch, because those are hot items, and I wanted to make those so good that I don't need a whole wall of fan art, and it's been working pretty well for me. So that decision to make those pieces wasn't to make money. The decision to do those pieces was, well, this will fund me enough so that I can push my originals, which are the only things I really care about, you know. So while the decision to do that was dictated on me just wanting to move more originals and be, you know, like my own artist, financially it actually just kind of worked out on its own, you know. So that was kind of a happy accident. But what I'm saying is a lot of my business decisions are made like that, and they're paying off really well for me versus some other artists that I know personally, not going to drop names, of course, who have made decisions based on, well, this is really hot right now, so I'm going to make fan art of that. And then it's like really, it's super transparent that you're only doing it to make sales, and it's just like it doesn't work. That's what I've observed in the artist alley, you know. Um, yeah. Oh shit, son! Hold on, I got a really important email right now. No, but I'll go through my entire process with you. Like, I I think it was Fanime. So last May of 2017, I released a vlog for Fanime Con, and in it, I'm talking with my friend who's also a business person. He's more business than I am because I'm not really a businessman. I'm an artist who has a business. um, and I told him all I want to do is be able to go into any convention and be and outdraw everyone. I want to draw live on a big piece of paper, and I just want to outdraw everyone. So I was all like, well, how do I get comfortable drawing live in front of people? How do I get comfortable being fast? How do I get comfortable drawing with inks? Well, I'll start live streaming my freestyle sketches so that these mini sketches, will eventually lead me to be able to draw live, draw fast, draw with ink confidently, right? So all of my little freestyle drawings that I've done in the past are actually little practice sessions that I set up for me to be able to do the live drawings at the cons that I am now. So again, I didn't do when I decided to start practicing the live freestyle drawings. That wasn't really that wasn't really like the decision behind that was just because I wanted to be a better artist and show off my skill at these things. It wasn't for money. But now that I am doing those things, yeah, I got the idea to reverse engineer from him, of course. That's why he means so much. That's why it means so much to me that he messaged me. Um, I just saw where I wanted to go, and me drawing live has resulted in a big spike in attention to my table, which in turn has improved my confidence. But I mean, I didn't do that because I was like, well, if I draw live, it'll make me more money. I just want to draw live because I think it's fucking cool, you know? And it just so happened to result in more money. So I think when approaching the artist alley, I think just like if you make really good artwork that's genuine, I think it results in you making more sales. It's weird how it works like that. All right. So we're at number 20. Let's go to 21. Oh, what a boring pose. We're skipping this one because this pose sucks. Well, yeah, as long as you like the fan art that you're drawing, that's genuine. I'm not saying only original art. I'm just saying, like, as long as you're doing stuff for things that you actually like, I think that shines through. Like, it's transparent when you're just doing stuff for cash grab. Damn it. Oh no, low battery. Bro. All right, when my iPad dies, I'm gonna go charge it up, and I'll end the stream, so I can take a little break, um, eat, and then by the time I'm done eating, the iPad will be charged, and I'll jump back on the stream. Does anyone know who Pierre Bernard is? It's from Conan O'Brien. Anyone watch Pierre Bernard's Recliner of Rage? Oh, 4 hours. No wonder the iPad's dying. Been running this shit non-stop for 4 hours. I'm not gonna lie, the battery life on this thing is incredible. Been running it at like full brightness on YouTube. Some of it was with music, some of it was silent, but I mean 4 hours, and it was at like 60% when we started, and it barely got the 10% warning now, so that's pretty good. Oh, this pose is kicking my ass. Let's start this one over again. Yeah, dude with the dolls. Yeah, Pierre Bernard. I ran into him at Anime Los Angeles, and he showed some interest in having me commission or to showed interest in commissioning me and doing some piece. So I'm actually gonna hit him up whenever we're done with this stream. I'm actually gonna go hit him up, see if he still wants to do it. Well, to be fair, what did we do today? See, I have 3 days to finish this. Not to boast, but I think I got this in the bag. Because technically I have until Friday to finish it. But I'm not going to be here. So which means I have to actually finish this in less time than they give me, you know? Like you're supposed to get a full month, right? But I haven't been working on this when I go to conventions because I want to record all of it and make it into a speed paint. So there are like 3 weekends. So there's like, I don't know, like 10 days that I missed. That's 200 pages. You know what I mean? So anyway, all right, guys. So okay, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and charge my iPad now. I'm gonna go cook. We're gonna end the stream here, and then I'll hop back on in maybe, I don't know, 2 hours or something. We'll just get right back on it. Thank you for joining. If you want to see what else I post, be sure to follow me on that Instagram, because I'm super active on Instagram. That seems to be my main place now. So, okay, guys, I will be back in a few hours.